Dude, I feel like a Diddy party. I'm all oiled up. What's up, everybody? My name's Alan. You're watching Southwest Speed. This is a new YouTube channel that we're getting started here. And as you see behind me, we got some pretty cool cars we're working with. But today we're going to be working on my mom's 700 wheel horsepower C7 Z06. We're going to be installing some mods and doing some maintenance. So thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you in the video. Taxi to go get the C7 now. We got to ride to the front of the house. It just rained here too, which is wonderful. It's not the white C7.
It's not?
No, it's the orange one. No, that's not mine. That's my buddy's.
Oh,
that's Anthony's car. Yep. I did some work on that car. It's got a ported snout, meth kit, full bolt-ons. And here we are. This is a 2016 Daytona Sunrise Orange, 7-speed manual, C7 Z06. It's got a ported calling export blower. It makes 700 wheel. It's pretty sweet. We grabbed the keys.
Also, you're recording. If you have anything you want to say in there, like, I'll be able to get it from out here.
Okay.
All right, let's hear how cold start.
Currently fat, so a little hard to get into in the garage. These DI cars, they love the freaking long crank. It's so stupid. I guess we end this today. We taking the golf cart, chat. How do we start this thing? Fat. Can you move that thing real quick? Technical difficulties.
That's still running.
There we go. Cranking the hog. And for most of you that won't know, for the people that do know, disregard. For the people that don't, any C6, C7, C8, you got to jack it up from the rear by the cradle to get it up enough to where you can fit the arms under pretty much any rack. Especially this car, because it has the Z07 package, so it has the aggressive side arrow. Also, they make these real nice billet aluminum pucks that you slide up into the chassis and then twist them. And I'm about to put those in too, so that will have jack points basically for the car. So these are from Elite Engineering. So this goes up in the chassis, you turn it, and it stays in like that, and this is basically a jack point for the car. So we're gonna put these in right now. So, just found out, this car has the permanent versions of these. The permanent ones, they have like a same style deal, but they bolt in place, so then it holds them. Where these ones, these are service ones, where you just use them and then take them back out. So less work for us. I don't have to use these this time, but I have them for the future because I do a lot of Corvette stuff. Okay, so now that we got the engine bay open, you can now take a look at this thing. I found this car for my mom. It was in San Angelo, Texas. Real nice guy had it. Most of the mods were already done, but it's a Kong export off a 19 LT4, which has the better brick placement than the earlier ones like this car is. This is a 16. So it's got a DSX lid, and then this is actually, I don't know if it's engraved or if it's CNC'd or something like that, but it's the new C8 logo, which I thought was pretty cool. And then I did all titanium bolts on the lid, and then of course it's color matched. It's got a Nick Williams 103 throttle body. It's got a 231 upper, stock lower, ARH headers, X-pipe to the stock MPP mufflers, and it's got a Cords heat exchanger, Cords ice tank, and then it's got a Mighty Mouse catch can. And it's a pretty good car, honestly. It runs good. So makes 700 wheel and 93 pump gas, and it's got an MGW short throw. My mom loves the thing, so it was perfect for what she wanted. But yeah, this thing's pretty sweet, and it's a carbon ceramic brake car too if you want to pan down to those. It's got all the exposed carbon ground effects, carbon ceramic brakes. It's a really high option car, which is cool, and it's pretty sweet. I added the side markers on it, a couple other things. So, and it doesn't have any miles on it either. It's only got 20K on it, so it's pretty sweet.
Something high performance like this, how often do you usually do your oil change? Do you go by the factory? Or?
So on performance stuff, it really depends on the application for me. If it's turbocharged, really often, because if you're running something turbocharged and it's turned up and you're really driving it hard a lot, it needs to be serviced a lot, because I learned that with my car because I had a twin turbo GTO for a while. And with the oil being recirculated in the turbos, unless you are lucky and have something like a Coyote with oilless turbos or something like that, but if your system is returning oil through the turbos, then I would obviously say every no more than 2,500 miles, because usually with most cars don't have the oiling capabilities like these do. Like the Corvettes have a really good oiling system. Because one, it's dry sump, two, it's got a big cooler, just a lot of really nice things about them. To add on to that, the turbo stuff, it fries the oil, it just cooks it. Blower stuff does that as well, but not as fast, because, the oil is just in the motor only. So with these, usually 4,000 to 5,000, but then the turbo stuff, I'm usually 2,500 at most, 2,000. And then also, I always check the stick too, just to see, because you can always tell too about the smell and the viscosity. You can tell if it's junk or not, This thing, it's been needing it for a while, so she hasn't been driving it as much. There it is. The gabagool. The good thing is the oil's not super hot.
No, but you are, Daddy.
I mean, I'm the adult Rizzler. Dude, I feel like a Diddy party. I'm all oiled up. It's kind of old school, but always check your gasket surface and make sure your oil filter didn't leave the one behind, because if you double gasket it, you're going to have some problems. So, this is the oil I chose for the C7. It's from Driven Racing Oil, formerly known as Joe Gibbs. I forget what they used to call it before. It was Joe Gibbs something. Comes with a Wix filter. You get some stickers. That's the best part of buying anything, is getting stickers. So, but if you look too, they also give you a Driven orange shop rag. And if you don't know me yet, but you're going to find out, orange is my color. You take a look around. Orange is literally my tools. Every tool is orange. Everything I own is orange. Even my underwear. Someday it might come out on the channel, but yeah, this is good stuff.
Once we make the Patreon.
Yeah. Once we make Patreon, I'll do an OnlyFans, and we'll talk to all y'all.
Rolling with the winners, can't remember when we took a loss. Saw the way I floss, big dripping, diamonds in the cross, wood grain gripping with the gloss.
All right, so here we're about to drain some oil, and on a dry sump, you got two different locations to drain the oil. You got the front plug and the rear plug. So I usually just do front or rear to front. There you go. Look like a little weak boy there. I didn't get much oil on myself, which is good. So as y'all see, it's a squirter. Yeah, I'll let this go for a little bit longer. Pop this in a couple threads so it's not like spraying out. And then I'll pop the front. So there's another way you can service these too, because there's just like the regular service, and then there's the full service on the oil change. And you can just do the front too and then not take the dry sump lines off. But if you want to go like fully crazy to where it's like it changes the capacity by like almost a quart, you take these out and it fully drains the lines to the dry sump tank. I don't really need to do it right now because it had it done not too long ago, so I'm not really worried about it. But I think we're about drained here, so let me pop this old girl in.
Yeah, I'm just gonna do this all as one take, and then any like, in-betweens or us, like I could just cut that out, so.
Alright.
It just makes it organized.
Oh, who you called Pinhead? Alright, now let's get the front butt plug. There we go. I'm not swole like Christian, so it takes me a little bit to get the drain plug off. Weird, ain't it? You take one plug out, it's empty. You take this one out, there's more. It's funny. You look, this has a different passageway, see? And then this one goes over there. Because one should be the return and one should be the fill, like when it's going in the motor. I'm not an expert on dry sump stuff, but it's pretty fascinating in my opinion, because it really makes an efficient oiling system. Salute to the rednecks in Kentucky that built these things, because I've had a few Corvettes in my day and loved every single one of them. And this one's no exception. I like this car a lot. Not my first choice because I'm a C6 guy, but the C7Z's been a good car so far. And then also too, we'll go up front and drain the catch can too. So basically the Mighty Mouse catch can, it's got a drain right here. So just want to crack it open. Make sure it's empty too, because it's about at its interval to being emptied. Yeah, it's got a little end on it. You just open her up and drain it and call it a day. Don Julio, Actifulio. Okay, so up next now that we got the oil drained, got the catch can drained, filter on, you'd think, Alan, let's go to the top and fill the oil. No, we got to do one more thing while we're here. So if you look under here, this has what's called an X brace, or whatever you want to really call it, but I call it an X brace because it's got X's in it. Basically, this car has high flow cats on it and American Racing headers. And with the high flow cats, the factory shield hits them under certain load situations. So Texas Speed builds a good product. You got to call them about it because they don't list it on the site. But if you call them up, they're great to deal with. No way in shape or form sponsored, but if they would like to, I would totally be grateful. So I got the Texas Speed X-Brace plate from them, which basically has a swell here, which adds the extra clearance for the catalytic converters so you don't have that rattle. I'm gonna put that on and then we'll fill the oil up and it should be done.
Mic is recording for sure, camera's recording. I'm sorry, Alan, I love you. Please don't fire me.
God damn it. All right, so for the third and final time, we have a Texas Speed X-Brace plate brace plate, whatever you want to call it. See how it's got this little drop? It adds probably, if I had to guess, about 1/2 inch of clearance. And that's really all you need so it doesn't hit the catalytic converters. And honestly, it looks nicer too because it's either painted or powder coated, can't tell. But it's a really nice piece. Honestly glad I ended up with doing it this way. So, because I called Texas Speed, I'm like, hey, this isn't listed on your site. And they're like, oh yeah, no problem. 180 bucks shipped. Can't ask for better to fix that problem. Because I am a stickler for rattles and noises. I hate them, can't stand them. And I drove this car back from Texas, and the rattle just drove me crazy the whole time. And I was like, this has to happen. I got to figure something out. And I didn't want to ghetto space it and do all that. So I now have this.
So same thing I used to tell my ex, sometimes 1/2 inch is all you need.
Hey, 1/2 inch is a lot, according to header clearance. So we're doing good, boys. So they had to ghetto space like I was thinking. As you can see, this was ghetto spaced, but not enough. So, you see, that's where it was hitting the catalytic converter. Got a nice wear spot right there on the bottom. So, yeah, the ghetto space was,
All these washers.
yeah. No more of that around here. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, shout out to Texas Speed, because no ghetto things happen here. The only thing ghetto that happens here is donuts and Hellcats, but that's about it. I think they're like, that one's not.
Oh, they're actually...
One of them feels like it's glued. These feel like they're like glued or something. So we're going to adjourn to the factory X-Brace. And as you see, it's got a nice wiener-shaped wear mark. And that's what this is going to prevent. Hopefully, this is my fix, and it stops doing this, because don't like at all. So we'll see. Basically, goes up in there like so. Or yeah, it goes like that. And it's still hitting. Well, I take back what I said 5 minutes ago, and I didn't want to ghetto space it. No more of that around here. That's all I'm saying. No ghetto things happen here.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
I played myself. So I tried to put the plate on and doesn't clear the catalytic converter. So I took the exhaust loose, tried to manipulate it, and yeah, I got as much as I could out of it, and it's still got like this much
I don't really
need.
see it, but the right side,
Yeah.
is it that's lower a little bit?
If you look, yeah, the right side catalytic converter is like a little pitch down. So I'm gonna go to the parts store and get some aluminum spacers, because they make like ones that are like basically block aluminum that's circle. We're ghetto spacing it after all. But
ghetto.
that is nothing towards Texas Speed. I think it's more of the exhaust setup. So this is ARH. So not calling any of them out, but it just doesn't fit exactly perfect. Then, you know, doesn't fit like OEM, because it's not OEM, it's aftermarket. It's to be expected. So I'm not worried about it. We'll figure it out.
Going from Section 8 to just low income.
Yeah, just about. doing pretty good here. Our local Ace Hardware didn't have all the spacers I needed, but I have just enough to where it's bolted in and secured, but it won't, it won't fall off, So I'm just putting these bolts in for security, but I'm not going to crank them down real hard, just so they're there for checks and balances. So, but good news is it does not hit the catalytic converter now. So, and I spaced them out nicely. So Christian, I know, got some B-roll on the spacers. They're like a billet cut spacer. So they're a little bit nicer than doing washers. And then it gives you that just enough clearance on the catalytic converter to not hit. So it's close, but it's just enough. Once I put all these bolts in and tighten them liberally, we'll go up and put some oil in this thing. All right, so what we're doing here is on a dry sump car, when you change the oil, you gotta fire the car off with about 8 quarts in it, let it run for a little bit, and then you check the level and then add from there. So I got Christian and the old girl, gonna fire her off. Oh yeah, just gotta let it run for a minute. Yeah, she going down in the closed loop, gonna calm down the idle. These C7s, man, they're loud. She's dead quiet now. It wasn't making noise before, but it kind of, you could tell it needed an oil change. It was like right at the interval too.
Are we getting a burnout after this, or? I'm kidding. Unless.
Well, considering I just got a big ticket in my ZR1, I got to be chill.
Oh, did
so unfortunately got Mick collabed. So we have to be good this episode. But
Okay.
once I beat the case like T Grizzly, I'll be good. All right, we're gonna walk over here, see where the temp's at. All right, so the coolant temp's about 160, 170. So yeah, you can cut it off now, Christian.
Yep.
There we go. And we're probably about 1.5 quart low, so perfect. We still have basically almost 2 quarts. We have like 1 3/4 quarts left. So we're probably about 1.5 quart low, which is about what I figured, but
Okay.
I didn't want to just dump it in like a meatball, You gotta have checks and balances when you're doing this kind of stuff, We're gonna dump the 3/4 quart in first, because that was the one I used to fill the oil filter with. Got the steady pour. What's a funnel? We don't need those
I've
around
only
here.
heard the term butt funnels. I was actually going to ask you because that sounds like it'd be in your area.
I mean, it is kind of in my area of expertise, I used to be the world champion butt chugger back in college, You know how it be. And there you go. I think the 1 quart's gonna do it. That's about dead on. So that will be the conclusion of doing an oil change. Never done one of those before. All right, guys, that's all for the day on the C7. Wasn't really a super crazy involved video, but there will be a lot more to come. I just wanted to keep it simple and easy for the first video to kind of get a grip on what we'll be doing around here. And, we got a lot of cool cars. I got my Chevy SS. I got my personal GTO, which has a 440-inch LS7. I will elaborate more on in time. I have my full Holden Monaro converted GTO. And then I have a 2012 Inferno Orange ZR1. And we're going to be doing a lot more content with these. And doing, this is still an ongoing build. The purple is an ongoing build. The SS is a lot of cool stuff coming. Headers, wheels, stuff like that. So there'll be a lot more cool stuff. And then I also work on a lot of cool stuff too. So there'll be some Terminator Cobras in and out of here. And just a lot of cool content. So make sure you like, follow, subscribe, all that good stuff to see more of what's coming.